The deaf community has been struggling daily with transportation, jobs, and communication. Nowadays, people are becoming more open and embracing the deaf community. But is their means of communication enough? Fortunately, our project Define will help people communicate better with the deaf community. Define is an app which features a real-time video translation of the person who is hand signing. Furthermore, this app will also serve as a dictionary with the corresponding hand sign in order to increase the understanding of the person. Today, we are going to interview a student from UERM to ask him about his knowledge about the deaf community and his thoughts of having a Define app.
I am Joseph Santos. I am a fourth year PT student in UERM MMCI.
What we will be talking about is about the deaf community and your thoughts about the idea of a Define app. So let's start. What is your knowledge about the deaf community or anything related to them?
I don't have much knowledge of the deaf community, but I do want to know more, as I did attend recently a Filipino Sign Language seminar.
How often do you get to interact with them? And can you give me an example of your experience communicating with them?
I don't have a lot of experience with interactions with deaf people, but I did have a classmate that was deaf on the right ear, and whenever I was on her right side and I was talking to her, I would have to tap her, to signal her that I was talking to her. So besides that, the only experiences I've had is talking with deaf employees of certain food chains.
Why do you think it is challenging for other people to communicate with them?
Learning sign language is basically learning a new language, and many people don't have the time or don't want to give the effort to learn a new language. So I think that's why there's such a communication barrier.
What do you think about the opportunities they get because of this disability?
I think that the opportunities that they get are not enough. Many members of the deaf community are high functioning and can be very productive members of society. So I think that there should be more opportunities for deaf people to be integrated into the workforce and be able to have a better quality of life.
Do you think sign language is enough to communicate with the deaf?
I think sign language isn't enough. Like with any type of communication, it always has to be two-way. So in order for there to be understanding between both sides, a person has to learn how to correctly express themselves in the new language.
How important is communication among people and the deaf?
In today's society, a lot of minorities are getting voices to be heard. And many communities or minorities are getting empowered. But a lot of the deaf community seems to be still misrepresented or unheard. Their perspectives and thoughts about everything should be communicated properly. So that's why I think it's very important.
How does the idea of having a communication app for the deaf sound?
I think it sounds great, especially being in the background of healthcare and medicine. I think healthcare professionals will be able to use this app effectively and efficiently, as there are many people with not only one comorbidity but multiple ones, maybe including hardness of hearing. So I think having the option to use this app to communicate with deaf people will be very good.
I would like to expound on this idea that we want to make an app called Define as a mean of communication with the deaf. Moreover, people who are eager to learn may use this app to increase their knowledge, since it will also resemble a dictionary that is accompanied by their corresponding visual of the words and its definition. Does this idea intrigue you? What will encourage you further to use this app?
I think in the future, I can definitely use this app for patients that have deafness or hardness of hearing.
Thank you for your time and for answering all the questions as much as you can.